have one, but I'm also.
We were talking about the Georgia runoff for Senate, and I know this might sound like a boring topic, but like it's been super interesting to me because I am bombarded by the ads for this thing. Would one of you,
as though I have no idea what's going on?
All right, so they're having a runoff. January 5th, I believe, is the final day of voting. As I'm told every day, voting is open now, though. And it's David Perdue, the incumbent Republican, versus John Ossoff, the dangerous radical John Ossoff, who took money from Chinese communists and tried to hide it. He wants to defund the police. You got
like a challenging Democrat.
Yeah, he's a white guy, clean cut, skinny guy, looks pretty young, looks like he's 35, 40 maybe. And David Perdue is worth like, I think $5 million, like rich old white guy. The other Republican who's also running for her seat is Kelly Loeffler. She is this cross-eyed blonde chick who is the richest member of Congress. I don't remember exactly what she's worth, but it's in the order of 200 million, something like that. And she's running against Raphael Warnock, who is a pastor. He's Pastor Raphael Warnock, this black guy who is cut from the same cloth, seemingly as that Reverend Wright guy. Like they literally have clips of him saying "Goddamn America" and saying,
America. Yeah, I remember when that was.
They have Raphael Warnock saying it as well.
Oh, okay.
Like these guys don't know when to shut the fuck up. Like you don't. You're in church. How's goddamn even coming up in church? Like you could have made your point some other way.
You shouldn't be able to say that. You would imagine that any past, because I remember as a kid growing up in the church, like goddamn was seen as like an echelon above like fuck.
Yeah, it's the worst thing you could say.
Dirty word, but saying goddamn or like Jesus Christ was like the huge no. But anyway, to clarify, like that's Loeffler. She is currently holding the seat, or she had the seat, and she's defending for it.
The Republicans are the incumbents, both of them.
Okay.
Republicans are the incumbents. And so Raphael Warnock, this pastor, the attack ads against him are insane. Like I get them everywhere. Local radio, every station, whether I'm listening to 70s, sports radio, talk radio, they've all got the commercials. All of my YouTube commercials are about this shit. It's about he's saying, one of his quotes is, you can't serve the military and God, which I don't know what his whole larger point was, but it's like, why are you saying that if you're ever going to run for public office? And then the goddamn America. And then he defended a quote unquote cop murderer. And when I heard that, I was like, all right, you're speaking my language. Okay. And just one thing after another about this guy, they're painting them both as radicals, and how if they get control of if they win their seats, it'll be a radical Congress.
Do that.
Based on what you said, only the guy who said "Goddamn America" sounds radical. The other guy doesn't. But you didn't really say much about him or her, whichever.
Yeah, they said he took money from Chinese communists, and he wants to. He said he wouldn't defund police, but then they play this quote where he's saying like police funding would be on the line, for police departments if they didn't do X, Y, and Z, and it's like yeah, good. I don't care about that, but It is kind of that situation this time where if these two Democrats win, the Senate will be Democrat controlled with a Democratic president. That'd be quite a bit of power. But
in the House,
Kelly Loeffler I don't know what the polls say, but I would almost guarantee the Republicans are ahead by like 60-40. Let me find you a picture of Kelly Loeffler.
The Democrats are leading. So I was actually, this is something I've been following. Democrats are leading both polls. Ossoff is up by 0.9% within the margin of error, and Warnock is up by 1.8%.
Holy shit! That's
again
shocking.
Within the margin of error.
It's close.
And yeah, it's super close. And but 538, they just sort of accumulate the polls and do their analysis of it. They're like, all the polling people are sitting this one out. The polls we have are C- and like B-rated polling agencies. The ones that they have more faith and trust in, they're not really doing it. They're not conducting polls. So these polls that the Democrats are winning, less reliable than normal. Wow, I never noticed her being cross-eyed.
Like I was saying the other day, like if I were Raphael Warnock or John Ossoff, I would have an attack ad for Kelly Loeffler. I'd show a picture like this, and I'd be like, "Crooked Kelly Loeffler has a distorted view for Georgia's future."
She can't see the forest for the trees when it comes to getting low-income workers dependable jobs.
And just like not.
She's always got one eye on her own interests and her donors.
Yeah, so I guess you
I do
haven't
feel
seen
bad for people
the
with lazy eyes, genuinely, because like you can't control that.
I guess you
But
haven't
surgery
seen the
fixes it.
counter like attack ads, but Purdue and Loeffler are both getting a lot of negative attention because when COVID was sort of like when our leaders knew about COVID and we didn't, they sold their stocks. Purdue
Yeah, she's the one who made a bunch of money.
She
right?
and
Or
Purdue
they both
both
did.
made a bunch of money and prevented a bunch of losses. So they profited off the COVID thing while telling the rest of the country that this thing is no big deal. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it. But meanwhile,
we're not going to shut down. You know.
yeah. Everything's fine. Don't worry about Corona. Meanwhile, they're adjusting their stock portfolios to make money, implying that they do know it's a big deal, right? If they actually thought it wasn't a big deal, they wouldn't have adjusted their stock portfolios.
Yeah. So they're being tricky. So what is she rich from? Did she marry into a wealthy family? Is she like an oil baroness? Like
She's a woman. You know she did.
Oh,
Or did she invent trifocals? I don't know. I guess Ben Franklin did that.
Where did Loeffler get her money?
From Chinese communists?
She's worth $800 million.
Damn. Why even run for office? Who fucking cares? Go buy one of the good islands. You don't even need to go to Spider Cove. You can buy one of the really good ones that probably has good. You could just buy Madagascar. Is that even a country or just kind of where we keep goofy animals? Is there a president of Madagascar? Is it a lemur?
Is it a lemur? It seems like the kind of place that would have a premiere.
Damn, they do have a president. 26 million people live there. Wouldn't you know it? Oh, I'm bored of this.
Yeah.
It looks
but
like
anyway,
her husband made the money.
I think she had 200 and he's got 600.
Oh, so she's just barely keeping it together without him.
Yeah.
I'm just
like combined,
scanning.
they're at 800.
The story behind the Loeffler's fortune begins with her husband, Jeff Sprecher. Sprecher was a successful power plant developer living in Beverly Hills. He negotiated to buy a struggling power plant, yada, yada, yada. So that's as far as I got when I said that.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could get some legal marijuana if both of these cats get elected. That's all I care about, obviously.
That would be great if it happened.
Oh,
But I'm keeping expectations very, very low for that.
As am I.
and then her husband hired her at the power plant that he runs.
Nice.
This
The
doesn't.
power plant.
Uh,
It is.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm being sexist. I'm just like, half the time women are super rich. They didn't get there on their own.
Whoa, well, noticing patterns and applying them to reality, Woody, that's not very PC of you. You don't want to that, my friend.
So we'll see.
It seems like she kind of sucks if she was doing all that.
I think the Republicans are going to win.
Money.
I'm just basing on this one thing. Republicans always win the low turnout elections, and this is an off cycle January election. You know, if it was in the midst of a presidential election, the Democrats would have a better shot. But whenever they
Obama's campaigning for him.
I hear you. I don't know. I'm just based on that little thing. I think the Republicans are going to win. They always win the low turnout elections.
The commercials have there's no white people in the commercials. It's just lots of black people talking about racial issues and civil rights.
Good diversity.
I think the Democrats lean into that too hard, like as a marketing thing. Like, we are the race for people. I'm sorry, we are the party for the people of color. Okay, but you make it seem like just people of color. Like, you know, whenever you'd run ads or like all your diversity stuff, like Taylor mentioned, doesn't include white guys at all.
Of course it doesn't.
But it should. There are white people that vote that way too, or at least they want them to. I think they're making a mistake by leaning too hard into the people of color thing.
I agree with you. I think they'd be better off to pursue the white voters early as well too. You know, usually you're not going to be punished for trying to throw a wider net.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll know in 5 days. I think it's the 5th.